Okay, where the Hebrew Israelites come out week in and week out to prophesy the downfall of our oppression, okay, the downfall of our enemies, the downfall of this wicked system, this society, which in the Bible is called Babylon, okay? It's going to be destroyed by nuclear destruction, all right? We're out here to let the so-called blacks, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Latinos, those people of North, Central, and South America know that who they really are. Okay, they're not the labels, okay, that's commonly known, but they are the Israelites. Alright? And we like to start first by saying all praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Right, okay. Yahweh is the name of the Most High, and Yahweh Shai is the name of his first begotten creation. He came down in the flesh to die for the sins of us, the Israelites, to reconcile us back unto our God once and for all. Alright? In perfection. Alright? Establishing the second covenant. Alright? Where we will be perfect. Okay? Before our Father forever. Alright? In the kingdom to come. Alright? And in these last days, the Most High will send his servants to prophesy the incoming of that kingdom and the downfall of this kingdom. Alright? I'd like to start with this scripture. This is the prophet Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 1. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah, the son of Amos, did see. Right? First it said the burden of Babylon, right? Because this is a burden. Alright, when our ancestors saw these things, how many thousands of years ago, this was a burden unto them. Those grievous things that they were seeing in these visions. Okay? It wasn't a thing where when they saw these visions, they were smiling, okay? They were jumping for joy. A lot of the prophets became sick and were troubled in their mind. So much so that a lot of them lost their appetite. A lot of them, when you go to bed and you got no food in your stomach, you're so grieved by the things you saw. They began meditating hard. Alright, they spent time alone and by themselves. Okay, because the things that they saw was a heavy burden. Okay, and this is the burden of Babylon that Isaiah, the son of Amos, did see. So he saw the Most High multiplied certain visions. Okay, I'm about to read it. This is the prophet Hosea, chapter 12, verse 10. I have also spoken by the prophets. So the Most High speaks by who? His prophets. So we're not ordinary men. Alright? In the eyes of the people of the world, we look like mortal, normal, average guys. But they don't realize that there's a spirit in the works. There's a spirit that's causing us to come out here every week and to speak words of condemnation unto this society and the inhabitants thereof. Alright? That we're not average spirits. We are the spirits of just men. The scripture says that are made perfect. Alright? That we're the firstborn, okay, of all creation. So therefore we have a heavy connection with the Most High. I'm talking about the elect. Because we're the hopeful elect. And the elect have a heavy connection with the Most High. Why? Because they're the firstborn of all spirits. So therefore it only makes sense that the Most High would give his elect men his word. Alright? And therefore we will come on earth in these chains of bondage, alright, and prophesy against the other spirits, man. Alright? And we prophesy against the other spirits. Okay? So it said, I have also spoken by the prophets, and I have multiplied visions, and used similitudes by the ministry of who? The prophets. So the scripture says, what? And I have multiplied visions. What did we say in Isaiah 13? It said, this is the burden of Babylon that Isaiah, the son of Amos, did see. So the Most High made Isaiah see the destruction of the last wicked empire, the last wicked beast on earth, man. Isaiah saw it over 2,700 years ago. He saw down the line the destruction of America. He didn't know that's what it was. He didn't know that that land was called America. Alright? He just knew that that would be the last beast, the last captivity that we'd be in. Alright? And he saw all kind of madness. He saw cross-dressers. He saw all kinds of sin at an all-time high. He saw Sin City. Alright? So let me get on. Right, Jeremiah 44 verse 4. Howbeit I sent unto you all my servants, the prophets, rising early and sending them, saying, oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate. Right. So the Most High, what? He said he sent unto you all his servants, the prophets. Alright? Because when it goes to Romans chapter 9, it says, my brethren, according to the flesh, you are Israelites, to whom pertains the covenants, the glory, alright, the giving of the law, and service of the Most High. Service meaning servants, alright, only the Israelites. Service to God only pertains to the Israelites, alright. The only ones that can give service to God are the Israelites, and the only ones that can be Christians are the Israelites. So when I read to you, it said, howbeit I sent unto you all my servants, the prophets. So that only pertains to you, the prophets who are Israelites. Okay? And it's to them the Most High multiplied visions, similitudes unto them. Alright? By the ministry of the prophets. So Isaiah was what? A servant of the Lord. He gave service to the Most High. Why? Because he was an Israelite. Alright? So let's go back. Isaiah 13 verse 1. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah, the son of Amos, did see. Right. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. Exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles. Let me read that again. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. This right here is the banner. Alright? This is the banner. This word, this law, this standard, all right? Here's what we're holding up. This is what we're doing when we're out here, when we're proclaiming the words of the Most High. What are we using? We're using these scriptures. We might use other books as well to try and, further exemplify the point that we're making, or add further proof to back up what we're talking about in the scriptures, all right? To further affirm what the scriptures are saying. But our main source of knowledge comes from the Holy Bible, the King James Version. Okay? So let me bring out some scriptures. I got some scriptures for you. Psalm 68 verse 11. The Lord gave the word. Great was the company of those that published it. Right. Great was the company of those that published the word of the Lord. Okay? So we know that the other nations didn't publish the word of the Lord, because it tells you in Psalms that God, he only gave his word to Jacob. That's in That's in Psalms 147 verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob. See that? See how the scriptures come together? The statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
he have not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. Exactly. Praise ye Yahweh. So when they go back to Psalms 68 and 11, the Lord gave the word. Great was the company of those that published it. We know that that company, where Israel was Jacob, it was Israel. All right. So you know you got these wacky-tacky Christians out there. All right, calling themselves the servants of God. A lot of them are Israelites. You know, your people is heavily attached to the Bible. But I'm talking about those churches where there's a lot of heathens up in there, man, claiming themselves to be servants of God. Now, if they knew about the Bible was published by a great company of Israelites. The various books in the Bible, the epistles, okay, the Gospels, it's all handwritten by Israelites. That's why I say he showeth his word unto Jacob.
That's right.
He have not dealt so with any other nation. So no other nation, the Most High has not poured his spirit upon the other nations to write down epistles, to write down the law and prophecies, you know, and revealings of certain things to come.
This is Ezekiel chapter 2, verse 4. And he said, actually verse 3, and he said unto me, Son of man, I send thee to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation that have rebelled against me. They and their fathers have transgressed against me, even unto this very day. But what we're saying, isn't it? How the prophets were only sent to the house of Israel.
Right. So this word is only for Israel. Published by Israel and only sent to Israel. Right? That's correct. So where's that thing? Right, let me go back. Psalm 68 verse 11. The Lord gave the word. Great was the company of those that published it. Right. That's right.
I can read it for you, brother.
So now you can bring us scriptures too much, because you know.
Yeah. Which one is it?
Bring any scriptures on. Back on.
Okay.
Give me Psalm 60 verse 4.
60 verse 4.
Psalm 64.
All right. Yeah, it says, thou hast given a banner to them. Right. Psalm 60 verse 4. Thou hast given a banner to them that fear thee, that it may be displayed because of the truth.
Right, so what did we read in Isaiah 13 verse 2? Read it again. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. Alright, exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles. Now read that again.
Thou hast given a banner to them that fear thee.
Right, so the prophets fear the Lord. The servants of the Most High fear the Most High. They fear his judgment. I remember when I first came out, man, I feared the judgment of the Lord. That's why even though I wasn't perfect in my understanding of the scriptures at the time, I still prepared my shit and went out there. I didn't even have a garment when I first went out there. I had my Bible when I went out there by myself, no sign, no posters. All I had was my backpack. I didn't even have the apocrypha. I went out there anyway because my mentality was, the judgment's coming out, let me help out. You know, let me help out sowing some seeds in the field as best way I can. Let me put whatever effort I can into it, man. Alright, that was my mentality. Alright? I went out there with a notepad, man. Why? Because I feared the Lord. I feared that judgment. Okay? And that fear was really put into me by the words of Tahar, man, and the elders, man. When I was watching their videos, they were the only group that emphasized being out there in the highways and byways. All the other groups, they would teach, but they wouldn't emphasize the importance of being out there. You know what I'm saying? there was no other groups that emphasized it. You understand? So it's lift up a banner to them that fear thee. This banner is this truth. A banner is like something that represents something. Alright? When you have a banner, it's like having an army. And then you have a banner. So we're army, we're the army. When you go to Ezekiel 37, the army that rose up, there were the sinews and the flesh and the bones. A great army stood up upon their feet. And usually every army, they have like a banner to represent their country. Well, this Bible represents our heritage, man. It represents the Most High. It represents holiness. Okay, righteousness. So that is what we are representing when we're out here. And we're trying to keep our people to a standard, even though the scripture says, though they hear or forbear it, but we're still meant to be sent unto them and tell them, listen, don't do this abominable thing that I hate. I read that in Jeremiah 44 verse 4.
This is Isaiah 11 verse 10. And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious.
Read that again.
And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious.
Right now that sign is the volume of this book. Alright? That root of Jesse, who came from Jesse? Alright, we know King David.
Going back to the battle what you said, that's why I read that.
Alright? We know King David was the seventh son of Jesse. Alright? But the Messiah also came from the loins of Jesse also. He also came from the seed of David. Okay? And Yahushua said, lo, I come in the volume of this book. Alright? So this, we're holding this sign of this, it shall be an ensign of the nation, of the Gentiles. Because once upon a time we were all Gentile, we were all in that Gentile frame of mind. We were all thinking that we were black and all kinds of other nonsense out here. And we came and sought and seeked the sign of the seed of Jesse, man. The volume of this book. Okay? So that's right. So let's go Isaiah 13, verse 2.
Alright. So this is No, not yet.
Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain.
This is Isaiah 13 verse 2. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain and exalt the voice unto them.
Right, the high mountain is the system. This is the high mountain right now. This is the high mountain. Lift ye up the banner on the high mountain and exalt the voice unto them. So women, they exalt the voice, so we don't fear the high mountain. Alright? Because we know that the higher is one is higher than the higher. But we fear him. Give you up the banner to them that fear thee. So we don't fear this high mountain. And this high mountain has its own laws. Alright? Hate crimes and that, but we don't fear that. We fear the Most High. All right. So we don't.
All right.
Lift up a banner to them. Where
it says, lift up a banner upon the high mountain, and exalt the voice unto them. Shake their hand, that they may go into the gates of the noble.
Right. So this is the gates. All right. This is the kingdom. This is the gates of the nobles. All brothers here, we're nobles. We're going to be the nobles of the world to come.
I mean, I want to think, this what we doing the work at. King's Cross, the cross of the kings.
This is where kings cross, man. This is where kings cross.
Yep.
Right?
This is where kings cross. Exactly.
This is where the kings cross, man. know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it
So
said,
it says that we make us kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth. Right now, Scripture says unrighteousness is against righteousness, like light against darkness. This world doesn't acknowledge us, man, because we're not of this world. Just like how light is against darkness. See, if people was really about what we're doing, they'd be all kind of proud here, man. Taking notes. Because people, there's something in them that will make them see what we're saying, but they don't see what we're saying. Why? Because this word has no place in it. They're not of this. They're not of the seed or the spirit of the Most High. They don't have that spiritual seed in them. It's not in them.
there's no truth in them.
It's not in them. Alright? There should be crowds up here, man. There should be crowds. If they really knew what this truth signified, that these books that were the understanding, not even so much the books, because the book is common, but the understanding of this book. They saw the riches behind these words, man. There should be like a big crowd, man. Alright? Ask some questions. We should be flooded. There should be body vans. People clothing off. There should be like little police sticker things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Helicopters. Trying to find maybe there's some type of terrorist activity. The people should be, you know, the security people, they'll be trying to harass us, checking us the roof, trying to get us off the street. There should be all kinds of people taking a film, recording what we're saying. There should be all kinds of people out here, man. We should have women, man, groupies. If they really knew what this was about.
I'm sure if Jay-Z was up here, one of the entertainers.
Yeah, exactly.
They'd be up there, yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. We should get the fine women, man. Fine women, man. If they really knew what this entailed, the riches behind this, if they knew, that should be the new thing, to be a prophet. The new thing to be a prophet. There should be Jakes, wearing getting their garments, you know. That should be the new thing. But if that happened, before you know it, we'd be in the kingdom, man.
Already.
We'd be in the kingdom already. The heathens would be bowing down.
But you know what though?
The chariots would have came already, man.
But you know what though? It's cool that it's like this, man. Because, hey, man, you know, to really be honest with you, and this is just coming from my perspective, man. You know, me personally, I don't really want to deal with these simply defiled women out here, man. So let them walk by past, man. You know what I'm saying? We'll get them clean in the kingdom. You know what I mean? That's just my thing, man. But what the brother's saying is true. Because really, technically, being that what have begotten spirits and what are first fruits, we should be already getting that faith because of this understanding. You know, but it just goes to show that this world, it's not dealing with the word of righteousness because it's not a righteous world. It's a wicked world, you know?
That's right.
Yeah, I've got a quick second. It says, Sirach 13:23, when a rich man speak of every man holds his tongue, and look, what he saith, they exalt it to the clouds. If the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him.
Right. So what that's basically saying is if a rich man speaks, someone high up in this world speaks, like the Queen, or a celebrity, like a famous entertainer, or like a Hollywood actor, okay? You know what I'm saying? So somebody that's very influential in this world I'm talking about. They'll listen to what they're saying, anything they'll say, any little word or sentence that they say that reflects some type of experience, they'll extol it to the clouds, man. Now that's the word of God. But now, you see us, we're poor guys. We're speaking all kind of wisdom. We're speaking all kinds of wisdom like the scriptures. What did it say that they're going to do? Hey, read that part.
When a rich man speak of every man hold his tongue.
Yeah, so Prince Charles spoke, they're all going to hold their tongue. Okay? Leonardo DiCaprio.
Right. Denzel Washington.
Alright? Go ahead.
And look what he saith, they exalt it to the clouds.
Right.
But if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this?
What fellow is this?
And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him.
Right. So if you speak these wise words, they're just gonna throw what you're saying right behind them. And the scripture says, give not that which is holy to the dogs.
Exactly.
They trample what you're saying underfoot and start talking shit again, man. Alright? That's what they'll do, because to them you're a nobody. You don't have no money, you have no influence, you have no status. You're just a poor guy trying to act like you're somebody.
In their eyes.
That's like in their eyes, they think you're just a poor guy trying to get some attention. You're just an attention seeker. That's how they see it. Especially if you're a nigga, man. If you're black, if you're a so-called black man, and you're out here, in the eyes of the world, you're just especially the black woman, you're just an attention seeker. You just want some attention. She doesn't feel that you're a prophet, an actual servant of the great one. She doesn't look at you. You know?
This is Ecclesiastes 9 verse 15. Now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he by his wisdom delivered the city.
Read that again, I didn't catch that.
This is Ecclesiastes 9 verse 15. Now therefore, it's like it. Now there was found in it a poor wise man. Yep. And he by his wisdom delivered the city, yet no man remembered that same poor man.
Right. No one remembered him. No one remembered him.
More too, brother.
Said no one remembered him.
Go on.
If I start up a few verses, because there's more on that. There's more on that.
Okay, so we're gonna start with verse 14. Yeah. Verse 14.
More on that story.
13 I'll start with. This is it says, this wisdom have I seen also under the sun,
Right.
and it seemed great unto me. There was a little city.
I mean, it's a surprise. It seemed great unto me. It's like, you consider it and you break it down, you see what happened, and you think about what happened. It's like, oh man, this is how shit is, man. Go and read it.
And it says, there was a little city, and a few men within it, and there came a great king against it.
There came a great king against this small city, go ahead.
And besieged it.
Go ahead.
And
so this is a small city. So you're thinking there's no hope for these people. A great king. These people, they might as well just surrender. They might as well just come out with their hands up, man. Right?
And there came a great king against it, and besieged it, and built great bulwarks against it.
Great bulwarks, meaning it's like a big instrument that you use for men to climb onto, to overlap the walls, to climb over the walls, man. You often see that in certain war movies, man, where there's like a big like wall or big city. You saw that in Lord of the Rings, man, where them orcs, they use certain battling rams, man, to try and break the wall and to climb onto the wall, man, and get into the city. So go ahead. So this king had a big army. Go ahead.
Now there was, I keep saying therefore, now there was found in it a poor wise man.
Poor wise man, meaning at this time the people are like, oh shit, man, we need a king. The king that's going to bring some wisdom, send troops.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you know what? He was a poor man, a poor guy. Go ahead. A nobody. Go ahead.
And he by his wisdom delivered the city. Yet no man remembered that same poor man. Then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. And the word of wise men are heard, and they quiet more than the cry of him that ruleth among fools.
You have to read that part again.
It says, then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless,
wisdom is better than strength, because a man could be strong, but he lacks wisdom in the fight. That's why certain guys, you might be skilled, you have wisdom, and you can overcome a man that's physically stronger than you. Wisdom is better than strength. So if you got knowledge, knowledge is power, man. Wisdom is power. And a man might be like a brute beast. You can make him look like a fool, man. Because you know certain angles where to get him at. You know? Certain weak points that he don't even know about. Because he's trusting in his strength. Go ahead.
Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard.
Because we're nobodies, man. Alright? Right about now, we're nobodies. You understand?
World, yeah.
That's how it is. But this poor man saved that small little city by his wisdom. So this poor guy looked at the army and the king, the big army, and he said to himself, "You don't have to worry about that, because I know a certain spot where, you know what I'm saying, we can get round all this." Okay? That's right.
The words of wise men are heard in quiet more than the cry from that ruler among fools. Verse 18. Wisdom is better than weapons of war, but one sinneth and destroyeth much good. Yeah, that's pretty much right. Yeah, like the brother was saying, man, what it is because we're nobodies right now. In the eyes of this world, we're not really getting that accolades like that, but that's all right, because at the end of the day, ultimately, as we always talk about week in and week out, we say the same thing, and what we say, okay, which is one of the things that we say all the time, is this is only about the elect, okay, because see, the people of this world, they're pretty much governed by foolishness. It says in the scriptures that foolishness, what is it? I'm roughly paraphrasing, but you got it already. I'll read it, why don't you read it?
Ecclesiastes 10:6. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in a low place.
Right, say that, read that again.
Ecclesiastes 10:6. Folly is set in great dignity,
That's the one, yeah.
and the rich sit in a low place.
Right, it says, folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in a low place. And that's exactly who the rich man is. The rich man, the true rich men are us, which is the poor. This verse sitting in a low place, which is the poor. We play the position of the poor. But folly now is set in great dignity. In other words, the heathen are ruling over the masses of the people. And this is why they're more influenced in folly rather than the true wisdom and understanding of this book, which is coming from the rich, which is the poor right now, the Israelites.
Right.
You got it, brother.
Because the Most High didn't impart his wisdom to the heathens. So what do the heathens have?
Nothing.
Folly.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
What they have is folly. Because the Most High didn't impart his wisdom unto them. It tells you that the Most High wisdom was in the tabernacle of Jacob. Let me get that. You get Sirach 24.
Right. So this is
Verse 1.
so Rock, what is it, 21? 24 verse 1. Let's spin the woman. Yeah, I got it right. So it's 24 verse 1.